Hi, I'm Anita Potter from Needles and Hooks, and today we're going to make a granny stocking ornament. Now this is one that I made previously, and I'm going to make it, got a little jingle bell on the end. We're going to do two different versions of this. I'm going to work this version first, and then I'm going to work the second version. So this is what it looks like, and you can open it, you can put little gift or something inside there. So what we're going to need is Red Heart Super Saver Metallic in white and Super Saver Metallic in red. Now you can use whatever yarn you want. This is just what I picked up for this. We're also going to need a size I-9 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, pair of scissors, some jingle bells. These are 13 millimeter ones, although I should have bought bigger ones because the little holes to attach the bells on with are a little too small and I can't fit my yarn needle in it. So you can either use a thin gauge wire to do this, or if you have one of these, you can absolutely use this as well. And this is all I've got. I mean, I've got wire, but I don't know where it is. So we're going to use this. And this thing is for threading sewing machines, the sewing machine needle, or hand stitching needles. But we're going to use it for threading our yarn through our jingle bell. So let's get started. We're going to start with metallic white. Pull some yarn out and make a slip knot. And this doesn't matter how you do it as long as you make a slip knot. Slip knotty goodness. And we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, darn it, having issues. 3, haha, and 4. Now we're going to join it to our first chain. Going to insert our hook, yarn over, and slip to close. We're going to chain 3, and that does count as a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do 2 double crochets in the ring. So we have to find it. Don't want to mess it up. So there's like right about there. I can pull everything apart. There's our little hole we need to go into. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into that hole there, get our tail out the way, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we'll do that one more time. Yarn over, insert our hook into our center of our ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to do 4 more sets of 3. So yarn over, and we're going to weave our tail in as we go. Insert the hook in the center of that chain, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, that's 1. 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, Wait, that's just one. Getting ahead of myself. 2, 3. It's getting a little harder to get them in here, but we need to do chain 2, 1, 2, 3 more double crochets, 1, 1. Tail keeps getting in the way. We're weaving it in as we go. 2, and 3, and we're going to end with a chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to join with a slip stitch in the top of the chain 3. Our slip stitch, and that's our first round. So we're going to cut and fasten off. I'm just going to cut the yarn, and I'm just going to fasten it off, pull it through. Yeah, and you'll find that this this stuff right there kind of gets in the way a little bit. So we're going to grab our red yarn and do round 2. And you can go into whichever chain 2 space you want. So I'm going to make a slip knot. Then I'm going to go into previous chain 2, put it on my hook, insert through the chain 2, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we're going to chain 2. Since this is already like a chain 1, I'm just going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets. Oh, sorry, 2 double crochets. 1, 1, 2, 2, and we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and we're going to 3 double crochets in that same chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to hop over to the next chain 2 space, which is right here. Going to yarn over and 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more in that same chain 2 space. 1, 1, 2, and 3. Now we need to move our tail from our previous round out of the way because we're not going to be able to hide it in this stitch because it hops over too much and it would be very visible. So we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the next 1, 2, 3 chain 2 spaces. And I'm going to take you through that because I'm not going to leave you hanging. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, and then our last chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more double crochets. 1. Now we're fighting with the tail at the beginning. Let's try not to get the tail mixed up with our working yarn. It's 1, 2, 3. And we're going to join at the top of the chain 3, slip stitch it together, and we're going to cut our yarn and fasten off. I'm going to switch back to white. If we look at our piece again, we're working this part. So our initial one is 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. So we finished round 2. We've got 2 more rounds to go. Set that aside. I'll make my slip knot in my white yarn. Insert my hook. Pick a chain 2 space. Yeah, might as well just... I tend to like go 1 space before where the other tail is. That way the tails aren't like completely next to each other. So I'm going to insert my hook. Make sure I've got my working yarn. Yarn over, pull up a loop, then pull through 2, then chain 2. And it's the same thing, 3 double crochets, or sorry, 2 double crochets, 1, get the tail out the way, here's our second double crochet, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets. Now we're going to fight the tail from the previous round. 1, maybe. 2, 3. Now, this is just a space. It's not a chain 2 space. So in this space, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So yarn over, and then 3 double crochets. Get this yarn out of my way. Hold it back. 1, 2, and 3. In the next chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 double crochets in that chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3. In the next space, 3 double crochets. This yarn just keeps encroaching on my hand here. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, whoops, 3, and our space, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets in the next space. 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 2, 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets in the next space, and then we're going to join to the top of the chain to finish off this round. 1, 2, 3. Join it to the top of that chain with a slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through both loops, cut our yarn, and we'll fasten it off. This is what we look like right now. So we got 1, 2, round 3. Bring it over, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start row 4. So we're going to bring back our red yarn. The white out the way. Our slip stitch. Put it on our hook. Go into a chain 2 space. Yarn over, pull through the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through both loops, chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Now we've got 2 spaces here, so we're going to do 3 double crochets in each of these 2 spaces right here. And make sure this tail's not getting in the way. Keeps flopping back around. 1, 2, 3, and next space, 1, 2, 3. We are up to a chain 2 space. It's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. Got 2 more spaces, so 3 double crochets in each of these. Maybe. One, 2, 3, and again over here, 1, 2, 3, chain 2 space, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets in these spaces here, 1, 2, 3, again, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the chain 2 space, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets in the 2 spaces here, 1, 2, 3, and again, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, then 3 double crochets in these 2 spaces, and then we're going to slip stitch to the top of this chain here. 1, 2, 3, again, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to join to the top. I'm going to insert our hook into the chain, yarn over, and pull through to slip to close. And we are going to cut a yarn and fasten off. And that completes round 1, 2, 3, 4, round 4. So we'll bring our piece back over at 1, 2, 3, 4. So round 4, this is your only opportunity, if you haven't done already, to weave in your ends. I'm not going to use a yarn needle for this. I'm just going to weave it through. Let's start at the beginning here. Well, first, this one's already been woven, so I'm going to snip this one. And let's get ourselves back into camera view. Oops. So, and how I do this, you can use a yarn needle if you want. I just don't feel like going over and getting it. So we're going to hide the round 2 ends. So I'm just going to insert my hook to the inside. This is the outside, the right side. I'm on the wrong side. So where was I? Right here. I'm just going to insert my hook through the back stitches. And then take my tail, yarn it over my hook, and pull it through. And I'm going to snip it. You can weave it through more if you want. I'm just not going to. And here we're going to do it also, except I'm going to go the opposite direction. And I'm just going through these loops in the back. I'm going to pull that through there. Get it through, and I'm just going to snip it, and I'm going to do that with all my ends. So I'm trying to think what would be better. I think I'll hide this one through here, seeing as that's closer. So I'm going to come at it from this way. I'm just going through these giant loops that are in the back, because you can see, you can't see it from the front because that's where my hook is. And I'm just gonna yarn it over and pull it through. And I'm gonna snip that in. I have a couple more tails to hide, so I'm just gonna go through the backs of these. Take that and maybe, yep, let's do it again. So much fun. Do I want to try to do it from there? All right, and then pull it through. Give it a snip. Try not to snip through your work, because that would be sad. I'm gonna, let's see. This is, where am I going to do this one at? I don't want to do it in the same slot, so I'm going to do it in this one. And how you ever weave your ends in, that's completely up to you. This is just how I'm going to do it, seeing as we're going to, on the next round, close it up. Or actually, we're not going to close it up yet. Or do we? I have to double check. I'm trying to think. No, we're not. We're going to do a round of single crochet, and then we'll join it together. But I just want to get these ends woven in so we're not fighting yarn tails. Zip. 2 more to go. And when we're single crocheting, then we can hide our ends within the single crochet. Because trying to get it through double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then skip a space you can't really hide your ends all that well. Oh, that's a small tail. Oopsies. All right, it's not gonna go through all of these, I know that, so I'm just gonna go through there and pull it through as much as I can, and it's hidden. Okay. And I can weave this final end into the single crochet. So I'm going to flip my work back over to the right side. As you can see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got a little pentagon going on. Just like we do here. Jingle, jingle. Now, before we start our single crochet round that goes around, we're going to need to determine where the top is. So we're going to flip it over to the wrong side, and we're going to fold it. So where the point is where the bottom is. So we're folding it in half just to see where we need to start. So I'm going to start in this chain 2 space right here at the top with the single crochets. So when I go around, we'll meet back here, and then we're going to fold it, and then we're going to single crochet it together and end with our little loop. But before we do any attaching of our yarn, we need to string our jingle bell on. So I'm going to bring back this thing. I'm going to grab one of my jingle bells right here. I'm going to put this through that little hole at the top, which I know this is incredibly difficult to see because it's small, it's tiny, and it's fiddly. My fingers don't want to work. So I'm just going to hold it like this for a minute while I get the end of my yarn. And then I'm going to feed it through the little wire that's on this thing a little bit. And then I'm going to gently pull it through. And then take this off and set it aside. So now our jingle bell is on our yarn. So we don't have to worry about trying to fit the crochet hook through to crochet it on. So this is going to be just in the way. So I'm going to constantly move it down as I work. So let me fold this in half again so I can figure out where I was going. Okay, so right here, I'm going to insert, first I'm going to get a slip knot going, and I can weave my end in. Since it's going to just be single crochet around, I'm not going to deal with any kind of spaces or chain spaces at all on this. So I'm going to insert my hook, pick up my work, make sure it's on the right side. It's right side, wrong side. I'm going to insert into this chain 2 space. I'm going to make sure my yarn's in the back because you fight it if it isn't. I'm going to yarn over, pull through the chain 2 space, and then I yarn over and pull through both of those. So I need to finish it right here with a slip stitch. So I'm going to single crochet into this chain 2 space one more time, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, at the beginning of the chain 2 spaces, you're going to have a hard time seeing the first stitch. So, when we get to it, I'll show you how to reveal it. But it's right here. So we're going to single crochet in the next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to single crochet in the space. And see, you can't really see the first stitch, so I'm going to move this aside, and it's right here. So insert my hook, and then go across those 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and I didn't weave my end in as I went. Oh well, we'll do it later. Single crochet in the space. Move to reveal that first stitch. 1, 2, 3. Single crochet in the space. move to reveal the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, and in this chain 2 space I'm just going to do 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and we're going to single crochet in the next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the space, move to reveal the first double crochet. 1, move our jingle bell down. 2, 3, single crochet in the space, move to reveal. 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the space, move to reveal. 1, 2, 3, move our bell down. 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space. 1, 2, in the next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 1 in the space, move to reveal. 1, 2, 3, and we're about halfway around in the space, move to reveal. 1, 2, 3, make sure we're not tangling our yarn up. Okay, 1 in the space, move to reveal. 1, 2, 3, 2 in the chain 2 space. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and the next 3. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if I just hold it and it'll slide as I go. Oh, and I can weave this in as we get when we get to it. 1 in the space. 1, move to reveal. 1, 2. Nope, it's being a pain. 3, 1 in the space, move to reveal. 1, 2, 3. Hold our tail from our previous round over, and then 1 in the space. Make sure we hold it so when we go to single crochet, we're single crocheting over top of it. That way we get it out of the way and we don't have to weave it in later. So I need to 1, 2 right here. And you hold it, make sure it's over your hook. 1, 2, 3, 2 single crochets into this chain 2 space. 1. I'm going to give this a little tug so maybe it'll hide and I don't have to trim it, which I don't believe I do. Do a second single crochet. Maybe let's move our bell down. 2. In the next 3 double crochets. because we're not going to see it, because this is going to be on the wrong side. 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the space, move to reveal, 1, 2, 3, in the chain, not in the chain space, but in the space, 1 single crochet, move it to reveal, 3 single crochets, and the next 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 1 in the space, move to reveal, and 1, 2, 3, and we're going to join with a slip stitch right here into that single crochet. Okay, so we finished our round, and before we go ahead and slip stitch to join our single crochet round together, we need to make a decision. Are you going to use an ornament hook, or are you just going to hang it on the tree by making a larger loop? So I'm going to use an ornament hanger. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of this chain here. Not with my tail. And then I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look at this real quick. Let's see. Yeah, 5 is a good number if you're going to use an ornament hook. You can go to 3 if you want as well. So I need to refold this right along here. So the bottom is there, and we're going to attach our jingle bell right here at the point. So, and I'm going to not have it turned, which way? Yep, that's the wrong side. And I'm going to come at it from the other direction because it's easier because I'm going this way around. You can do it however you like. So I'm going to, like where the chain 5 I put, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to line it up the best I can. I'm going to slip stitch back on the opposite side of where that chain is to join it. So I'm going to go through this on here, and then I'm going to go through, make sure I'm putting it in the right spot right here. It's hard to see, can be a little fussy. Here we go. And I'm going to slip stitch that closed and slip stitch the start of it. So before I go any further, I'm going to need to hide this end, and for that I'm going to need my yarn needle for that. Or actually maybe no, I can hide it within there. I'll just hide it as I work. Alright. Now. So much fun. Alright. Yeah, this is gonna be like the most difficult part of this. Get our loop out of the way as best we can. And we're going to single crochet through both sides to close it up. So I'm going to go into this one here, and then this one back here. Make sure our tail is over top of our, that's not the tail, this is the tail, is over top of the hook. That way it can get single crocheted into it and hidden. And we're going to go into the next stitch, which white makes it really hard to see. If they had other colors of this, I would have totally chose those. But these were the only ones they had. Let's see. Make sure I'm going into the correct one, not missing a single crochet on either side. Let's double check our work here with the little loop. Looks good. And so we continue on, going through the front and the back and hiding our tail. Probably hide, need 2 more stitches and then I'll snip it. And you can absolutely slip stitch these closed. You don't have to do a single crochet. I'm just doing a single crochet. Yes, sorry. Apologies. My camera stand moved and I didn't notice before I started recording. So hopefully I'm in frame now. So we're just single crocheting these together through the front and the back. And then I'm going to snip this tail when I do this single crochet. Pull up a loop on that. I'm going to cut close to it, but not through it. The work, because all that work we did, it would be so sad if we cut through our project. I'm sure that's happened. I've had it happen before too, and it was heartbreaking. Okay, so we're just going to continue going through both sides and single crocheting together. Try to do it as even as possible. And you can get to a point where you can make this as big as you want. You can make a full-on stocking that you hang on either your wall or over your mantle with one of those stocking holders. You could totally do that too. I'm just making ornaments. And you would just do the same thing. We're going to get to the point, haha, funny, to the point right here where we're going to need to bring up our little jingle bell and crochet it onto the end of our stocking. Make sure, okay, I've gone through that one, okay, it's the next one. I'm just going to work through both loops on each side. Move it forward here. Back. That way it's right there and I'm not chasing it. I've got it in my hand. We're almost there. Now I'm going to insert my hook into this final stitch and then get the bell as close to the crochet hook as I can. If it wants to behave, there we go. I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through 2. So our little jingle bell is now attached. So let's see, how shall we finish this off? see. I'm thinking. All right, I'm just going to cut the yarn. Give myself a good tail. I'm going to fasten it off. And I'm going to go get my yarn needle that I failed to bring over here. All right, yarn needle. Fold this tail over onto itself, and then wiggle it through my yarn needle, and hopefully it all goes through, and it does. So I'm going to weave this in through the center as best as I can. Without making a mistake. But mistakes happen. And we just fix them and get on with it. Alright, I think that's far enough. I'm going to pull it through. And grab my scissors. Give it a little snip. There we go. Now, and there we have it. We have our little jingle bell. And it looks completely different than this one. Slightly. Because I think I didn't single crochet on this. This one I slip stitched around. This one is single crocheted around. So you got like versions of both right there. And this one's not as pointy as, say, this one is. So either one of these, you could just, either way, if I put them in the frame. One of these days I'll figure this setup out, and I apologize for being out of frame on a few of these things. It's hard to see my computer across the way. So this one was single crocheted, sewn together. This one was slip stitched, sewn together, and I think this was only 3 chains on the hanger, and this one is 5. So whichever way you want to finish it off, you can make like a whole slew of these. You can start with white on one, and then you could start with the red on the other, or if you have other colors that you want to use, you could absolutely use those. These don't take very long to work up once you get going on them. So that is it for this tutorial, and hopefully you get to make a whole bunch of stocking ornaments, or you make yourself a giant stocking and put bigger goodies and stuff in it. So if you have any comments or questions, or if you're stuck in a spot, please, please, please leave me a comment in the comments section below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.